So how do you create an amazing relationship with two ambitious human beings who are trying to create something special for their lives and then merge together to create something incredible from there? Like I just talked about a woman's potential and what she can create and how to enroll people into that to where you get the support to chase your dream as an ambitious woman without feeling like you're being treated like this woman trying to be a man or be aggressive, right? That's not the case. You just want to chase the dream and provide for your life. And then how do you become a man in a world that has a desire for you to do more, but then you feel like you're having contention at home and the wife and girlfriend or whoever it is not supporting? Like, how do you have those two areas? Or obviously, if you're not in a heterosexual relationship, apply the same concepts to your world, right? And I want to talk about how you develop a relationship with two ambitious people. How do you take these two heads that want to create something amazing and maybe both want to be the face of something and push it out? Now, there are some great examples of individuals who are both doing amazingly well in the world. And I have friends that I see do this. Like, they're incredible how they operate. And my wife has a business, two businesses, in fact, that run amazingly, and I have mine. And it's always a matter of how do you navigate this? Now, here's one way to look at this. There's an area where you have two people working together and then two people working separately. I'm going to discuss separately. We can talk about working together in the same business. That's one conversation for a different time. My wife and I, we're different, right? We do different things. She's in special needs and she helps awesome people be able to live a life that they normally couldn't live. And so for me, in my world's a little bit different, but similar, right? Serving. Now, I find that for the two of us, one of the beauties is when we support each other and we let each other go do our thing, we are happy doing our thing. We're in our level of genius. We feel good. And then we come back to the relationship and we're happy when we arrive. Therefore, happiness is within it. And then what we need to do is support that person. Now, we talked about the guys getting, the support, women getting the support. What it boils down to is if you give something, you'll get something. But if you want the support, you want the help, you want all that stuff going on, you have to give it. And that's one of the hardest parts when we're these people trying to create this name. We're so heavy rooted in us, what we want to create, what we want to do. We don't always think about serving the person that's opposite of us or sleeping next to us on our bed each night, right? So one of the biggest problems that I ran into in my marriage early on, which led to divorce before we got remarried 3 years later, was like, it was all Anthony. I got to create this, I got to do this. And I wasn't helping her in what she needed help with. Her education to be able to get certified and do some other stuff, to open a group home a certain way, or taking care of the kids in a certain way. And then I felt like, well, you don't get what I'm doing. You don't support, you don't believe in it. And so we kept having these contented, these back and forth arguments because I wanted her to support me. She wanted me to support her. And because we both weren't getting it, we both weren't doing it. And that was the weird thing that I would look back on later. I look back on now and say, that is why you might be running into the problem you're running into when it comes to you getting the support that you need from the opposite person. There's going to be a level of support you want to give and a level of support that they actually need. The thing is, they're telling you what you need, that they need from you. They're telling you in the arguments, they're yelling at you every day saying, I need you to do this and this and this. And you keep making excuses for it. You keep telling them why it has to be this and justify and rebut and refute. And all it does is piss them off more. Like they're telling you what they need and you won't give it to them. And then you're yelling at them and what you need. And again, they refute, they rebut, they make excuses. They're back and forth. Here's how you fix that. You stop and you do what they're asking you to do. Swallow your damn pride and go do it. Women, I'm talking to you too. Swallow the pride for a minute. And I don't know who's going to start this, but if the two of you continue to keep doing this, you're going to fall apart. And you're going to do what my wife and I did and just be separate. And you may not be as blessed as us and make it back together, right? The idea is this. There's going to be a moment in time, multiple moments in time when you do not want to do a thing that they need you to do. And it's in that moment, at that time, that if you show up and do what they need you to do, and you just do without making complaints or keeping score or just anything, don't even give little retorts of like, yeah, well, just do it and do it lovingly, a magical thing happens. It's going to suck for you. Your pride's going to be, hit a little bit. But if you're going to lose your pride for anybody, have it be for that person, right? But then what happens? You do that thing. And maybe the first time they don't give a notice of it the way you want. Maybe the second time, third time, fourth time, who knows? But over time, I promise, if you stay the course and keep doing this thing, well, in the past, you already told them what you needed them to do. Now what happens, because you're giving this support, it doesn't feel great at first, they will start openly giving it back. You'll find that you start getting from them what you were arguing about and needing 3 months ago. All of a sudden, they do it because you were giving. It's always a give to get cycle. If you give nothing, you get nothing. If you give a lot, you get a lot. So if you want to find this way to get supported, it starts with giving support. And ladies, if this resonates with you, share with your men, man. And men, if it's resonating, give it to your lady. Like, it's got to be something where you realize that back and forth, there's always going to be this conversation of who needs what. And it's going to have to be one of you, whoever's watching this, possibly starting the process and giving way more than you feel comfortable. Because that is how you get that connection point, how you create that depth of connection, that depth of relation, to where no matter what you ask, they're going to support and give it to you because they want to. Not they feel like they need to, but they want to. When people want to do something, they give more than you could ever expect of them, honestly, and it fuels you and it engages on a different level. And then you'll see what is magical happens is, like my wife and I need something from her, she'll give it to me. She needs something from me, I give it to her. And I get the appreciation of her giving things to me when I need them. There's no score being counted. There's no tally marks. It's just a feeling. And that's how we can both do our thing and feel incredibly happy, feel incredibly supported, have great success, and then come back together and be happy and successful and share that with the world. Because when you have two people who are doing something incredible and happy and joyous, it makes the world a better place. Like, legitimately makes the world a better place. And if you want that for your relationship, you want that for your marriage, it might mean you having to step into a space you have not felt comfortable in, but your marriage and your relationship need you to go. So when it comes to that wheel spinning, will you be the one that starts spinning it the opposite direction?